Welcome to Conspiracy Cast.
Defeated him.
I'm going to welcome.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Welcome.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Welcome to Conspiracy Cast, the show right here on Twitch that we film just about every Monday. Then we put it up on Patreon next week, and you can watch it over there because that's what we do here. We do conspiracies. It's always supported by your Twitch subs and those Patreon dollars.
Benny hasn't rapped since the 80s.
I regret starting that.
And
you told me to.
I know, that's why I
have we
regret
also
it.
noticed that the host of the show is slowly moving off the set?
Mostly because I need to watch the audio because sometimes it does peak and being
Eventually,
over there, I'm like,
Oh crap, we lost 15 viewers to my rap.
I don't blame them.
I like the chat. Abort!
Betty, you're no Sugar Hill Gang, that's for sure.
Okay, all right, start from the top. Welcome to Conspiracy Cast, the show right here. Welcome to Conspiracy Cast, the show right here at our Twitch channel every Monday where we go over some weird conspiracies and decide if we agree with it or disagree or just call it crazy and start rambling into some weird tangents. It is filmed on most Mondays here on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/eligible-monster, at about 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern, and then it gets uploaded to our Patreon where for only $1 you get access to Conspiracy Cast, 3 Beers and a Topic, our gaming podcast, CTV, and Comics Experiment, all of which you get early compared to where everyone else gets the content. I'm not actually your host, though. I'm just introducing it because the Where This Gets hosts, everyone knows who I am. Our actual host, who will be leading the discussion, is...
Me. Oh, no, get him.
It's me.
I was going to do a drum roll, but...
It's me.
No.
It's me.
No.
Eventually, I'm just going to end up like Skyping into the show.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
He's actually going to host it from the comment section.
I'm going to host it from the comment section. I'm just slowly migrating off the set.
352.
Yeah.
What do you think about this part of the conspiracy?
He's going to be in the Twitch chat. Okay, guys, here's
Actually,
the
guys,
conspiracy.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to remote view the Conspiracy Cast.
Oh, does that have something to do with the topic?
See what I did there?
Transitions.
Yeah, transitions. What you said. What? So,
We're so professional here.
have either of you ever... Oh, I'm Gary, by the way.
The guy in the middle is Beanie Nips.
Beanie Nips.
Beanie Nips.
It's actually, that's why he wears
I
a beanie.
actually have 2 little beanies.
No. He wears a beanie because his head is a giant nip.
So his name is Beanie Nips. I'm calling him that from now on. He will forever be known as Beanie Nips.
Oh, please no. Please no.
Beanie Nips, Beanie Nips.
Have either of you ever remote viewed?
I've remote viewed some Beanie Nips.
I hate you so much.
Because for thousands of years, we have been fascinated. Oh, by the way, the link to this article will be in the description below.
Define remote viewing.
Will it have a Beanie Nip?
That wasn't my transition, but okay. So remote viewing is different from being psychic. The concept behind, because if
this is actually
real
completely
quick,
different
before you get rolling,
Yes.
I do want to state one thing, guys.
Yes.
We are trying a new 3-mic setup for the Twitch stream. So while
Yes.
anybody watching this on Patreon or on the channel, you'll have the better audio quality because we all have our chest mics. These 3 microphones are for Twitch, so let us know if they aren't sounding right or if anybody sounds too distant so that we can learn how to position these and things like that. So
Yeah. And
just
come
wanted to
watch
get
us
that out there. Yeah.
when we do this on twitch.tv/eligible-monster on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Anyway.
what he said.
you really got to speak up. You're doing a weird thing where you're like, and then we're going to talk really low, and then we're going to talk really loud.
I definitely don't have a microphone right beneath my mouth, and I definitely don't
They can't
angle
hear you.
down.
You have a Twitch.
Well, that's why I'm
You have a
saying it
Twitch.
to them. But I'm saying it to them.
The Twitch doesn't have your Beanie Nips, Beanie Nip.
I hate you so much.
So, remote viewing. Different from what we would normally consider like a psychic to be. So when you have psychic powers or extra sensory perception, you just pick up on like ideas, concepts, future events, anything and everything can be kind of lumped together with what we normally consider like a psychic. I can read what you're thinking. I can feel what you're feeling.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you one last time.
Sure, what?
I'm going to pull a Rob.
What?
Can we get this statue for the set for this?
I hate you so much sometimes. But yes.
Oh, it looked like a snail
It did it first.
from over here.
I'm going to link it to their chat.
Yeah.
But it's a crash-landed spaceship.
Yes.
It's 30 inches tall.
We should do an entire episode.
30 inches.
30. Wow.
It's basically as tall as those things. It'd be
amazing.
great right in the middle there.
It would look really good. We should all do.
bloody
We should also do an
huge.
episode in like black suits and like with FBI badges. And give Benny
Gary,
we'll give Benny some
adding
red-
to your job
some
of
red-
12 jobs, I need you now to tailor us some suits.
Oh, okay.
Be careful with my inseam.
Beanie nips in his balls.
Wow. So I think the conspiracy is: do we ever really talk about conspiracies?
All right, what
That should
yeah,
legit be an episode. 'cause we don't.
So
what is remote viewing?
Remote viewing.
What is remote viewing?
Remote
Would
viewing.
you please explain what remote viewing is?
I feel like I'm on like Fox News or something. So, can you just explain? Could you just explain yourself? I really need you to
Could you
explain
explain
yourself.
why
Can
you believe in
explain
MAGA?
yourself? What?
MAGA?
MAGA?
Everyone walks around with these red
Make
hats.
American great again.
Oh, is that what it means?
Oh.
I always thought it
Yeah.
was like some weird alien that they
No.
were all trying to get Trump to go back to because he's from outer space.
Are you?
No, it's making.
Okay, I legit don't know if you're being serious right now.
MAGA are aliens of Trump's race.
The orange people.
Okay, all right.
It's the real reason he has a toupee.
All right.
So remote viewing is, in a nutshell, when you send your mind to a place. It's not really astral projection like somebody brought up in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Astral projection is basically what we saw in Star Wars, where Luke projects himself somewhere else.
I would have
You
said
can
Doctor
literally-
Strange.
Okay,
That's
Doctor
quite
Strange.
literally what he does.
Yes. So you basically send yourself somewhere else. Remote viewing is exactly what it sounds like. You basically send your consciousness somewhere else in space and time. So you become a viewer.
So it's not astral projection though.
Can
not
you
astral
talk to people
projection.
there? Because that sounds like
No.
Constantine.
No, you can't.
So basically, what you're stating is
Become
the
an
concept of
become-
the idea that we can become a fly in the wall.
Basically.
I can remote
Anywhere,
view.
anywhere in time and space.
Okay.
That's why it's called remote viewing. You can't interact with anything. It takes generally it takes a lot of meditation and focus and time.
Does it take tea?
It does take tea.
Ooh. I
Every
forgot
time,
my
every
tea.
time I think
So-
of meditation, I always think like a hot green tea, but without the handle. Like it's the kind where you're like, and now I meditate. I'm not even joking. For whatever the
See,
reason.
Now that I've watched Legends of Tomorrow, I just think of the hallucinogenic tea that they drink.
I
For
just
the
think
record,
of
when
like,
you said remote viewing, I totally thought you meant like remote viewing someone's computer. Legitimately, I thought
Oh,
that
no.
was the conspiracy that
Remote
people were
viewing,
doing that
right.
to our computers.
No, so back in 2009, there was a movie that was released that was called The Men Who Stare at Goats, starring George Clooney and Ewan McGregor. That was actually relatively based on a supposed true story of these men in the army, I believe, who were basically training to be remote viewers.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go ahead and read this article because it's interesting.
Our chat would like to know, and I either
Yes.
joke or not. I think it's a good question.
Yeah.
How is it different from daydreaming?
How is it different from daydreaming? Daydreaming is fictional. Remote viewing is viewing actual events.
Okay, all right.
As opposed to
I felt like it's a
imagining
good.
an event.
Yes.
While I joking or not, I felt like it's a good way to differentiate.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's
Yeah.
a good, to clear things up, definitely. So this person writes, for thousands of years, we have been fascinated by the idea of ordinary people being able to do extraordinary things. Whether it is a story rooted in ancient philosophy or an account of blah, 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 blah. One such program, here we go. A number of
very
studies.
well-written article.
Okay, a number of studies. They got bored with their own article. A number of studies and programs have been conducted with significant statistical results, which demonstrate that these are real phenomena, the applications of which are far-reaching, being remote viewing. One such program to attest the reality of these extended human capacities is the, quote, Stargate project. Not to be confused with Stargate the series. That's
Because you love that.
that I do. And there's also conspiracy theories about Stargate being based on a real Stargate.
Why have we not done that conspiracy theory?
Because there's 100 others and we need to get through all of them.
Throw that out. Let's do Stargate one.
A program established by the United States Army. You notice I ignored you.
I know.
The Defense
You've gotten good
Intelligence
at this.
He's
Agency
learning.
and SRI International to study psychic phenomenon. The program actually lasted more than 2 decades. It's a real program. And the results were declassified after the program was supposedly shut down.
Supposedly.
Supposedly shut down.
Okay.
So
What were the results?
I think we're going to get into that.
I hope so.
You think? Did you even read your own research?
It's not my research. Well, it's my
Fair
research
enough.
on someone else's research, who did research based on someone else's research. Academia is confusing. Our world is
Just
drenched,
like My Hero Academia.
Yeah. Our world is drenched in secrecy. Think the black budget. Ooh, I've not heard of that one. What's the black budget?
I'm going to Google see if it's anything real.
And the United States government, one example, classifies up to 500 million pages of documents every single year. Even
Whoa.
when, ooh, yeah.
The black budget is a government budget that is allocated to classified or secret operations of the nation. The account and expenses are related to military research and covert operations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I
it's-
could
it
see
doesn't,
that.
okay.
It's not a conspiracy.
Right, it's a real thing.
It's funding Black Ops.
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time that I was in Black Ops and had to do a Black Ops operation? I can't tell you so.
Did I ever
It was
tell you?
Call of Duty.
No. It was Call of Duty.
Call of
Yeah.
Duty was fun
He was in a nuke town.
So even when
with
something
an exosuit.
Even when something is allowed to be published and released for public viewing, it remains a fairly safe assumption that much has still been withheld from public knowledge regarding these programs. One project under the Stargate umbrella involved remote viewing, which is the ability of individuals to describe a remote geographical location up to several 100,000 kilometers away, sometimes even more from their physical location. Now, this does also include remote viewing, information, events, times. So it's not just physical remote viewing. I mean, that's kind of the beginning of it. That's like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to
Okay.
remote viewing.
One thing I'm curious about.
Yes.
Before you go any further.
Yes.
Why is this a conspiracy?
Yeah.
People believe in astral projection. People believe in daydreaming, the Mandela effect. This doesn't sound like a conspiracy, just something you can do.
The conspiracy is in that this program was supposedly shut down, that it never really worked, that our government is basically trying to say that that the program was real, though they won't say it wasn't. It was
Okay.
real, but that it didn't work. That
So
we
almost like the Manhattan
we spent-
Project.
Yes, almost like
Okay.
the Manhattan Project. We spent 20 years on it. It went nowhere. Here's the declassified information, and we're moving on.
But we're legit, the conspiracy is that we go, they're saying that so that we think that it doesn't work so that they can
And
actually
that it
do
is still
it.
shut down. Yeah.
Wait, that it is shut down or that
Or
it's
that
still
it
going?
isn't.
The conspiracy is it's still going.
Okay.
Okay.
Or that is
That's what I
similar
thought.
That's where I'm trying to get
Or that-
confused here, because
yeah.
like from
Right.
what you're describing so far, it doesn't sound like anything fancy.
Yeah.
It just sounds like Gary showing up and going, "Here's my organic grade coffee," and me going, "What the hell does that mean?"
That
You
is
know?
a weird comparison, but
I
okay.
always go to food and coffee.
You really do.
I don't mind it. I really want some organic coffee now. Really bad.
Let's remote view.
Can we do our first episode of the Pour Over Show?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God, I named our coffee show.
The pour over show.
Come on, Dan, give it to me.
Quote.
The Pour Over.
That's better. That's much better.
Quote.
To
we're waiting here.
summarize.
Gary.
you got-
Gary.
Hey,
Gary.
Hey, Benny.
Gary.
Benny.
This is
to summarize over the years.
the rails.
So Dylan's gonna have a real fun time editing this.
He doesn't edit this.
That's true. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
He leaves it all in there.
You think Dylan
I
doesn't
think
work?
I think it's more our viewers are gonna have a harder time deciphering this.
Hey, some episodes are just off the rails, man.
Moby
What
says, next week, big coffee controlling people's minds. That's Google and Starbucks working together.
happens? Hold on. Big.
Google Bucks.
That's why Google is in every Starbucks.
Okay, let's do this. Let's get to where this is really a conspiracy, because right now you
Yes.
just explained what remote viewing is. And it just, I'm not
And
gonna lie,
we're
Gary,
getting there.
sounds very
We've-
boring.
We've been
sounds
at
very
it
boring.
for like 5-10 minutes.
Well, it's boring.
To be fair, of the 5 minutes that
Okay.
we've been doing this, only 2 minutes has he actually gotten to
we
say
only got
anything.
5 minutes?
It's
No, we're
true.
at 13.
Yeah, we're 13. I
Yes,
think
and
we
I've
did 3 minutes.
spoken for
13.
like 4 of them.
3.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, let's hear this.
I'm gonna skip to some supposedly true stories of remote viewing.
There you go. Let's go with
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's reel it back here. You're
You
letting
guys
this get
don't
off
want
the
me to
rails so
read
bad.
the 5 pages of notes
Gotta
that I have
wrangle.
here?
You
gotta wrangle
all you
us.
did was copy paste.
Remote viewers claim they were part of a secret Pentagon program. The U.S. government, no, actually, this is my handwriting. I write in 12 font Times New Roman. The U.S. government
That's impressive.
thought remote viewing was intriguing enough to actually create an investigative unit in 1978, along with the Defense Intelligence Agency, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. The story of this unit was dramatized in the 2009 film. We already covered that. The program is discontinued, blah, blah, blah. Here's some true stories, supposedly true stories. UFOs exchange fire with a Russian submarine.
Okay.
In 1975, Ingo Swann, remote viewer from the original CIA program, made another astounding claim. Underlined. When asked to remote view on the coordinates of a Russian submarine, he deduced it was some sort of test, since the Pentagon already knew what happened to the submarine. While remote viewing, he was quoted as saying, OMG, I think that the submarine has shot down a UFO or the UFO fired on her. What shall I do?
Hold on, please tell me he actually said, "Oh my God."
Yes, he did.
Okay.
This is
I would have
1975.
my opinions of the CIA dropped tremendously if he had
He's
said,
from the Valley.
OMG.
Okay, so Ingo Swann is from the Valley. After delivering his report, the Pentagon further funded the CIA program. So he remote viewed. The government already knew what happened to this, so he's actually looking back in time
Okay.
at another location
Where we fought aliens.
where we fought aliens.
Quick question.
Yes.
Why have we not done a show on that incident?
Yes, we should. Underline, underline, underline.
I like how some of these episodes are less us going through a conspiracy and more us going, here's the next 10 topics of the show.
This
Right.
show is the rabbit hole that YouTube sends you down when you click on like conspiracy
We
videos.
should just call this show The Rabbit Hole. We need to make a show and call it The Rabbit
You just
Hole.
want to call it the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and we'll start with a topic.
Okay, I don't want our show
Oh
to
my gosh, we should.
Okay, I don't want our
Sorry.
show to sound like a strip club.
I know, but The Rabbit Hole would be a great show if
Every
we
time
literally
you say
just.
the rabbit hole, I just think of the dead
Yeah.
rabbits in the hole.
But they're so sad.
See?
No, but imagine if we did a show where it was just, or we call it Train of Thought, where we start with a topic and then we see what the last topic of the show is.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
It'd be a fun Twitch game to
It would
do.
be, yeah.
We'll try it today.
Okay.
Okay,
Peanut butter.
Okay. Not
that's one
yet.
story.
Oh, right. We're doing this show.
That's one story. One remote viewer predicts another civil war in America. Oh, let's see where this goes. Some remote viewers say they can use their abilities to see things in the distant and not so distant future. EMG Nikolai is one such remote viewer. He claims companies and governments have hired him for his predictions, and he has made some extraordinary predictions. Highlights include a global currency reset between 2017 and 2019. Didn't happen, so he was wrong. The destruction of Rome in 2030 and an American Civil War in 2035. He outlines his predictions further in his book, Timeline Collapse and Universal Ascension.
That sounds like Nostradamus,
Yes, a little bit.
which is another episode. Underline, underline, underline.
Yeah, so he's going to be one of those guys who says, so when I said
I
2017...
only see one underline. He said 3.
So he's going to be one of those guys who says, like, well, when I said 2017 to 2019, I really meant like 2021 to 2029. I don't know.
20,
Yeah.
2010
Well, you see by the
to
Mayan
3.
calendar.
Well, according to the Mayan calendar, translated into ancient Greek and then retranslated, just, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so obviously we didn't have a big currency reset, or did we?
Did we?
I don't know. No, we didn't.
I was like, wait.
No. We had Brexit. I mean, that counts as something,
That
right?
screwed them.
Yeah. So,
They kind of went, hey, Dan, you got 2
Th-
passports. Now one's pretty kind of useless.
yeah.
Just kidding.
So this story from EMG Nikolai.
EMP,
Yeah.
another show we do.
It is another show.
It is.
It's also an electromagnetic pulse.
Pulse. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel very strongly about this guy's claim.
Actually,
to-
hold
Hey,
on.
what?
The chat is stating, have you considered Bitcoin?
Yeah.
What was the years that they said about the currency change?
Well, 2017 to 2019, but Bitcoin's been around for a long
2017,
time.
though, could it was either 2017
See,
or
this-
early no, it's
Okay.
early 2018 that Bitcoin late 2017, early 2018 when Bitcoin truly started picking off and became more of a legitimate currency
Yes.
as opposed to when it started and
Now-
it was like couple pennies
Right.
per Bitcoin. Now
Correct.
it's like 6
Correct.
grand.
Bitcoin's historic 2017 price run.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it
that's
shot
a-
up from $900 a Bitcoin to
Right.
$20,000 a Bitcoin.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
remember
different,
that.
though. That's so.
How is it different?
a new currency?
Digital currency.
A new digital currency increasing in value is different from a global currency reset.
Kind of a reset, though.
It's not really a reset.
It kind of
It's-
reset because of the Greek. The main reason why it started picking off was because of the
Greek recession.
Greek recession when the economy dropped drastically and most people bought into Bitcoin because it was a global currency that kind of reset their.
Maybe there's some weight to this guy's claim.
I can see a little bit of weight to
We're
it.
trying to.
We
We're totally devil's advocate for this episode. Right?
I know.
we
love
just
it.
need to wait until 2030 to see if Rome is truly destroyed.
I hope it doesn't. I gotta go to Rome before then.
I'm just going to remote view it later. I mean,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah,
I'm going to remote view
Yeah.
it from like 20 years ago as well.
yeah, exactly.
200.
Remote viewers correctly identified one of the kidnappers of Patricia Hearst. Wealthy heiress Patricia Hearst was violently kidnapped from her home in 1974 by a cult known as the Symbionese Liberation Army, which went on to brainwash her and enlist her in their crimes. In the days immediately after her kidnapping, Berkeley police were still in the dark and frantically looking for leads. Along with his team, Russell Targ, one of the original remote viewers of the CIA program, used remote viewing and was the first to correctly identify the kidnapping car and one of the kidnappers.
That is dangerous stuff because that literally was a story of Civil War II, where someone's got one correct prediction, therefore everyone started to believe that their predictions were accurate and they were acting. It's even a movie.
Called Minority
They do the
Report.
same
Yeah,
thing
the
in
Minority
Crime.
Report,
Okay,
yeah.
they did the same thing in Crimes of Grindelwald. Anyway, what I find interesting about this story is that this is documented. Mm-hmm. There's no conspiracy here. This is documented. The guy worked in the same program. He worked in the
In what
Stargate
way
program.
did he? Does it give any like specifications? Because is this one of those? Oh, it was a white van that had a dark window, and the man looked like this, or like one of those. He could have made just a very generic statement that kind of encompasses, kind of like,
Well,
I mean,
it
I hate to
doesn't-
say it, like
yeah.
horoscopes, where it encompasses a lot of things.
Today,
That-
you will meet someone new.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to go to the grocery store
Yeah.
and see like 20 people that I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that kind of like
Yeah.
it reminds me of the people that can speak to ghosts,
Yes.
where they'll come up and be like, "You have a friend." Begins with an
Ghost
S.
whisperers.
Yeah, it begins with a J. I'm hearing a J. A J.
Oh, there's a whole formula.
Do
for
you
that.
have a
There's
friend with
formula.
a J? Yeah.
I love that.
You're supposed to
episode of
go with
South
it, so I
Park.
can do this.
Yes. Yeah.
That episode of
Do it-
South
wait,
Park.
okay, let's start over.
What's his name?
What?
The guy who does it, the biggest douche in the universe.
David Blaine. No, David Blaine's magic.
No, David. Yeah,
Magicians.
David Blaine. Yeah, no, that
there are a lot of
guy's
magicians
insane.
who also know how to do this.
Well, okay,
It's
when it
all
comes down to
illusion.
this, like, I'll go, "You have a friend with a J," and you'll be like, "Oh, my friend Josh?
Yeah.
Yes.
He passed away 3 years ago," and I'd be like, "Feels
He's
violent,
saying, "I
maybe."
miss you,"
I
or,
miss
like-
you, and it's vague things to make you
Oh, yeah.
give me information.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're also really good at reading the audience.
Yeah.
So what they'll say is they'll say like, someone in this room has lost someone recently, and they wait for a reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then they go to the
It's
person with
called
the reaction.
a cold read.
Yes, a cold read. Exactly. Yeah, there's a whole...
John Edwards was the person
That's
that said
yeah,
it.
the biggest
that's what it
douche.
was.
in the
And thank you
universe.
so much,
Yes.
AJD, for that sub. Dan, we're only 169 away from you keeping your job.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Does John Edwards still do that stuff?
Is he still around? I don't know if he's
I
still
don't
around.
know.
That was like early 2000s.
Yeah.
He made that movement popular, I would say.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I mean, we've always had an interest in the paranormal. We've always
Yeah.
had an interest in psychic powers, remote viewing, these kinds of things. Aliens exist and collaborate with humans to stop nuclear war. And one of the weirder remote viewer claims, this one's weirder, Major Ed Dames, one of the original students involved in Project Stargate, so these are all, so far, Stargate
John Edwards is still doing his thing.
practitioners, said that not only do extraterrestrials exist, but they are actually collaborating with humans to stop nuclear war. On the Coast to Coast radio show, Ed Dames, Coast to Coast, that's another good one. Ed Dames.
I feel like 1 week we should have like a really long episode of Conspiracy Cast, and then the following week should be something like this where we more BS.
Yes.
But you just get a lot of topics to do.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Conspiracy Cast, rabbit hole episodes. There, I took your idea, made it work.
No,
My
you just
idea
stole
already
it.
worked.
He stole it.
It's my
Ed
idea now.
Dames describes UFOs that were reported actively shutting down U.S. Trident nuclear missile tests. When the Pentagon asked him if he could get any intelligence from remote viewing, he said his remote viewers claimed that these were not craft, but plasma balls being,
We're mature.
being controlled by both extraterrestrials and human beings that were not born on this planet. Okay, that's interesting. See, sometimes I like reading these things fresh. Being controlled by both extraterrestrials and human beings that were not born on this planet. That's a concept. I mean, it'll be true in like 100 years when people are being born on Mars.
Yeah.
But
Born on Mars. That is just a
Yes.
whole other idea. The first extraterrestrial human.
yes,
human.
That's going to be a movie. Born on Mars.
That already was.
Was it?
It was about this kid who was born on Mars, comes to Earth, and he's like really sickly, and he can't because gravity's different. And, yeah.
I remember that. I thought it was supposed to be funny. Is it not funny?
I think Disney Channel did a movie like that too, where this girl like lived in space on a space station, and she came down to Earth, and you're technically an extraterrestrial. Anyway.
Yeah.
What I find funny about those shows and those movies, the concept, most of them just do it as the fish out of water situation.
Yes.
You know, like they don't know how Earth functions, but then I always go, you were still raised by Earthlings on the space station. Why are you so clueless?
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Oh, and on the space station, we don't use utensils for our food. We use our hands. No, that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense, yeah.
And if it is, someone would have gone, hey, by the way, when you get to Earth, gonna need to know what a fork and knife are.
Yeah. Here's a slideshow. This is a knife. This is a fork. This is a spoon. This is some crazy shit right here. This is a spork. I just blew your mind.
Yeah.
So this is a spife. It's a knife, spoon.
I was thinking of something.
Very dangerous. You can cut
it.
your mouth with it.
The spork?
Where was I going with
No, a
this?
spife.
Oh, I've seen those.
I lost it. I had an idea. It was gone.
That's how most of your day works.
Okay.
Sometimes when I don't clean all my dishes, I'll use like a fork or a knife to eat yogurt.
I figured it out. He said his remote viewers claimed that these were not Kraft but plasma balls. It's Mega Man.
Oh, shizzle.
Oh, Zone of the Enders. That's another game I've played.
Going back to discussion.
The craziest episode we've ever
Should I just call this episode Conspirament Off the Rails?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so a remote viewer actually predicted the ring around Jupiter. This one's really interesting. I do know this one. The CIA also had its own remote viewing program that predated the Pentagon's by a few years. One of its remote viewers, Ingo Swann, remote viewed the perimeter of Jupiter and predicted that there was a faint ring around the planet, something our telescopes were unable to detect. When Pioneer 10 did a flyby of Jupiter in November 1973, it confirmed there was, in fact, a ring around the planet.
Holy crap. One, that is kind of weird.
Yes.
Because that's legit.
Yeah.
Two, a spife's a real thing.
Wait, what?
A spife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A spife.
It's got a knife on it. Yeah. On a spork.
A knife.
Like on the other end?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Not always on the other end either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. We learn something every day.
Yeah, we're all learning something new.
That we predicted the rings around Saturn. And you can put a knife on a fork and not cut your mouth open, apparently.
And a spife is, yeah. Okay.
Or people will like there's currently a debate if it's called a splade, a spife, or a nork.
Well, a nork would be a knife fork. A spife would be a spoon knife.
Okay, what's a splade?
Splade's just stupid.
Yes. Xenon.
That's a sword on a
Okay.
I'm naming this episode Off the Rails Conspiracy Cast.
Thank you, Hacks. Hacksleg.
Haxley.
Yeah, Xenon. That was like Xenon Girl of the Future or something. That was the movie.
Mrs. the Trex Eater. I love that name, but we can't use it as a public title for the thing just because of the PC culture nowadays.
No, we're not even going to say it because PC culture. No, let's be honest.
What is it? Sign it.
Huh?
Sign it to me. Wait, where is it?
That's actually one that a lot of people do get offended
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get a problem with that, but still, I find it funny.
Okay. We go into a little more depth on the destruction of Rome here. EMG Nikolai also predicted that after World War III, okay, so this is after World War III, Islamic terrorists will flee the Middle East and flood into Europe, causing the destruction of Rome in 2030.
Like, let's just say World War III were to happen relatively soon. So that would mean in order for that to happen, World War III would have to start for this to be a reasonable time span.
In a year and a half.
It would, well, even a year and a half, a 10-year war. 10-year wars don't last normally. No. Look at the major conflicts we've had.
Right.
They only last like 2 to 4 years. We don't normally get the 100-year war again. That's a totally different thing.
No. Yeah. Well, and generally in war, there's a lot of stalemates.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's be honest. No one wants war.
Well, actually, you know what? You stating
wants
that
war.
North Korea versus South Korea. They're technically, I believe, still at war.
They are.
And they've just.
There's technically just, what is this?
It's a stalemate right now.
Yeah.
It's a stalemate, yeah.
Ceasefire?
I think it's
Are
a
they
ceasefire.
still in that?
Yeah.
I think they are.
It's a ceasefire with the United Nations keeping tabs on it, and there's a U.S. base there that helps keep it all.
Funny thing about that,
There are
I
guards
heard,
at the border at all times.
I heard that
staring at each other. It's amazing.
I heard that when America was still there, I think we're still there. I don't know, but they would only send people over, soldiers over that were super tall, to imply that all American soldiers were
I've heard that
6'5", 6'6", and taller.
The big guys.
Yes.
I heard that rumor.
Yeah.
To put a fear, because
To put the fear of, we're fighting giants.
I don't think we have any show where we could talk about this in full, but
Yeah.
the whole North Korea conspiracies and everything in itself is crazy. The stuff
It
that's
is.
happening over
It
there.
is. Did you know, Benny?
Yeah, this is so
and
off
Dan,
the rails.
Oh,
Did you know?
I'm going to name this
Did you-
remote viewing way off the rails.
Did you know? Did you know?
No.
There are alien structures on the dark side of the moon.
Yes.
Wait, there are?
Yeah.
We're going back to Ingo Swann here, one of the most experienced
I like
remote
this guy.
viewers. Yeah, claims he saw structures and humanoids on the far side of the moon. As he put it, I found towers, machinery, lights, buildings, humanoids busy at work on something I couldn't figure out. Although by the time he saw this, he says the intelligence community already knew about it.
Isn't it Transformers?
Isn't he the same guy?
That is literally the plot to Transformers.
Yeah.
It's called Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
I just watched it yesterday. That movie still holds up.
That
Hang on,
is
hang on,
yeah.
hang
That's the plot for Transformers 3.
Was it 3?
So
Andy and I were trying
he
to guess
predicts
where,
it the movie.
Andy and I were trying to guess which part.
Okay.
Where in the timeline
So-
of Transformers this movie was taking place.
Okay.
We're like, well, there's Optimus. Well, there's the Decepticons, and there's the Samurai guy.
No one knows.
All right. So back on track a little bit. This is the same guy who saw the exchange of fire between a Russian sub and UFOs. So something that already happened. So he's a really good remote viewer. He's just a little late to the game.
Because part of me also feels like this is one of those, I had one legit one, therefore you now start believing me on these ones that you can't prove.
No, what we're saying here is this is the government stating that they already have known about what he's claiming. That he says, this
So
is
we
what I saw.
know.
This
The
is what I-
government has confirmed that there are alien structures.
So that's
on
like
the
when Dan
according to
shows
him.
up to me and he goes, Benny, did you hear about the latest Pokemon Go update? And I go, yeah, I already knew about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wink.
Pretty much.
I knew about it 3 months ago before they
Yeah.
put it out.
Wink.
I'm not going to wink.
Why not?
I can't wink as well with my
did
left
it.
eye.
I like how happy he sounded with that.
I can wink with both eyes. There you go. You're a little twitchy when you do it.
That's called going to sleep.
No, I don't go to sleep like this.
Watch this. I can wink both eyes
Okay.
at the same time.
What? Okay, I want to stop here for a moment.
It's called closing
What-
your eyes, Dan.
What do we think about this?
Blinking is actually.
People busy at work on the dark side of the moon. What
Yes.
could they be building? What's there? That's another conspiracy. Star. You get a star.
I'm going to look that up, see what they say.
What could they be building? Twitch chat.
Wait,
What?
wasn't it Decepticons? I think that's what
Yeah,
it
it's
was.
It's not Decepticons. That's a movie, Benny.
I think
That's a movie, Benny.
It's
Okay.
they're
Yeah,
prepping for Independence Day.
and they're also making an album to be hosted by Pink Floyd.
Nah. The Pink Floyd are the original remote viewers.
Oh my God! Oh, can we build that conspiracy?
Pink Floyd they were remote viewers?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
The dark side
They're
of the
hidden
moon.
messages.
The
that-
dark side of the moon, they have actually made it so that on the other side of the moon there's a rainbow because the sun's refracting through the moon.
What?
You heard me correct.
Okay.
You know the cover, right? For Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, it's also an episode of Supernatural and Supergirl.
How did you not know?
Dark
it was an
Side of the Moon
episode
stuff?
Supernatural.
I want to see what the episode plot for Supernatural. Let's see what they say it is.
Yeah, what is it?
The dark side of the moon, ambushed by angry hunters. Sam and Dean are killed and sent to heaven. Castiel, talking through radios and a TV, explains to the brothers that Zachariah is looking for them. The Winchester's task is to find the angel Joshua, who is rumored to be able to talk to God, in the garden at the end of the road. You know,
This
when
is
you
nothing-
read what happened in the episodes, the show sounds dumb.
Yeah, like most shows. Yeah.
And what does any of that have to do with the dark side of the
I was
moon?
going to say,
I don't know.
who knows?
Remote viewing was used to gain information from a KGB agent. In 1980, Joe McMonigle had another success when his services were used by the CIA to help determine how a captured KGB agent in South Africa had communicated with the Soviet Union. with zero knowledge of the man, McMoneagle said to look at his pocket calculator, which the agent used frequently. After investigating, agents found the calculator concealed a shortwave radio.
Oh.
Yeah, so this one's less exciting.
Yeah.
Was it a calculator?
How funny is it that the less exciting ones, I'm like, that could be legit.
Because it's less exciting.
Because it's less exciting.
Yeah, you're like, no, no, there's no way. All right. A remote viewer predicted where Skylab would fall. This is the same guy, Joe McMoneagle, another member of Project Stargate. You already said that.
McGonagall?
No, it's McMoneagle.
Oh.
McMoneagle.
McMoneagle.
Said he accurately predicted where the United States research satellite Skylab would fall 11 months before it crashed to Earth. McMoneagle told his superiors that the spacecraft would crash in Padua, Italy. That's exactly where it ended up.
Conspiracy, he caused it to crash.
With his remote viewing.
That is legit one of my things.
Actually,
whenever someone predicts something in the future and it is correct, I'm surprised not many people look into, maybe they caused it.
So one of the things that remote viewers are known for is this, generally, is this thing called cloud busting.
Okay.
It's this idea where you stare at a cloud and you just make it disperse with your mind.
Okay.
And what they claim is that anybody can do it.
Okay.
That anybody can just look at a
Hold
cloud.
on. After this, the three of us are going to stare at clouds.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, my theory is that the cloud just disperses.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at it long enough to let it disperse.
It's kind of one of those ones where it's like it just happens to be convenient.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's like when you go,
now,
the clock's gonna change the minute in 3, 2, 1, now, and it changes, and you're
amazing.
like, oh my god, I totally called that. And
You're
it's
a
like,
remote
no,
clock viewer.
Dan, you're really
So-
good at this.
Really good at what?
Viewing. I'm saying because
Yeah.
I'm playing along.
Yes, you're
me
very
too.
good. Now, if you can look at a cloudy sky, like on a gray, cloudy, rainy day, and just say, I'm going to clear the sky, and you look at it and you're like,
I would say you're a real man.
I don't know what that was.
This episode is just insane.
We just learned the trick to busting clouds.
This is what happens when we all come back from a vacation.
This is what happens when you let Gary just eat and eat and eat and eat, unchecked and unmarked.
Oh my god.
He's like a goldfish. He'll kill himself.
Please don't.
So maybe it's really advanced cloud busting. Maybe it's like satellite busting. You stare at a satellite, now that you can just see a satellite with your naked eye. Sometimes you can when they're blinking and like going across the sky.
But where are you going with that?
I don't know.
You're the guy that's supposed to be on track.
My point is, you said maybe he caused it. What if he's an advanced cloud buster?
And he caused
busted
it
a
in that
satellite?
way. He didn't know how to fully control his powers.
Yeah.
Our Twitch chat would like to call them cloud benders.
Cloud benders.
Yes.
Yes, cloud benders.
Dan gets that joke.
I'm okay. It's a weird like breath that I took. So, I can't believe we skipped all of the boring research and went to the exciting stories. Who does that? So
we're done then?
They were so
we're
exciting.
pretty much done. I want to know what you guys think about remote viewing.
It legit
Yes.
sounds to me like new age. Like I agree with a lot of these conspiracies.
Right.
This one sounds like new age guru hipster shit. In all honesty, like I'm sitting there going, Dan, I'm currently viewing a conflict over in the other part of the world, and you can agree with me, or I can currently view a battle between the U.S. and the Russians back in World War. You know.
It sounds like it could be, like it sounds more like just, like an educational guess prediction.
Yes, that's what it sounds like to me.
Like for example,
Okay.
He has a calculator and he uses that for short-term radio, like stuff like that. It's just like that's something that could be predicted for the sake of.
Right.
Oh, well, he's got a watch that also allows him to, when he tries to change the time, it sends off Morse code. Like, it's something that you could think of
and
and
I
go,
have a phone in my shoe.
yeah.
It's
Like
the future.
Exactly. It's stuff that could just straight up be it's the same reason of someone going, you know what, we should invent this. We should invent a short-term radio that can go through a calculator. It's basically
Yes.
that same thought process,
Right.
except going, I think this could already exist.
Right.
He's got really good at ignoring.
So
Yeah.
I have an idea. an experiment we could run. Each of us should write down or try to predict 100 things. Just predict anything. My guess is...
That is actually a good comment. How many of their predictions have not been correct?
Right, I want to know that. I do genuinely
Well,
want to know that.
that's kind of the Nostradamus thing, where you're like, oh, he got these right, or he got that right, but it's like, but he also didn't get this right.
He was also extremely cryptic in how he wrote things. Very cryptic. So, like, if I were to say a natural disaster will occur next year, what are the chances that some sort of natural disaster somewhere...
hurricanes happen almost every year.
I would be correct. But even if you went more specific, even if you went more daring with your predictions, if you make enough of them and you get creative with enough of them, you're looking at an average, I think it's like an average of like 3%.
Yeah.
Could be correct.
It's like going, here, I'm going to make a full dartboard of theories.
Right.
Someone throws a dart, it lands on one, and you go, I predicted that.
Yeah, and that's
like,
exactly
that's one of my theories.
Yes, exactly. So
it's like when we're all sitting in the office brainstorming something, and then a week later Dan goes, I thought of that one. But we all know he didn't.
Half the time I do. And I just don't know it already exists.
Yes. That's actually another great conspiracy. It's called the Akashic Field. We should cover that one too.
Interesting.
Man, I've really gone down the rabbit hole of YouTube in the past.
Yeah.
I really have.
So technically Star Wars could be considered remote viewing.
Yes.
It could. Oh.
Anything in space could technically
What
be
if
considered
Babylon 5 and Battlestar Galactica
What about
is remote viewing?
So,
what if remote viewing is that one where we build a space station that people come to and visit Earth through? I can't remember what the name of that one is, but...
Stargate.
No, I don't think that one's Stargate. It was a movie recently.
What you're saying is some of these ideas that just come to people for stories have actually happened or will happen.
Exactly.
Because they're tapping into concepts that are just kind of
I hate to say
floating
it,
out there.
In a way, Big Brother. Or 1984.
Yeah. 1984.
There are things in that at the time were him making up a story, but now kind of correct.
Yeah.
He predicted the show. No.
Absolutely. H.G. Wells. Well, H.G. Wells made a lot of predictions that were just quite remarkable. But okay, so what you're saying is that people might actually be remote viewing because they're tapping into the Akashic Field. So the Akashic Field is this theory that the collected knowledge of the universe exists on a basically like at almost at like a wavelength, and it's just this energy, this field that runs through the universe. Not anybody can tap into, but that some people have been able to tap into. They claim, some conspiracy theorists claim that Nikola Tesla was one of the few people who could tap into the Akashic Field, because Tesla would be another good one. Because Tesla claimed that a lot of his ideas came to him in flashes of light. That an idea for an invention, which he would later invent, just popped into his head in this like flash of light.
Yeah.
Specs, blueprints, everything. That the ideas literally just popped into his head.
But I mean, let's be honest. That's called having an idea.
Not with Tesla.
Well, that's just the way that he phrases it.
We're going to do an episode on Tesla.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. How many times, when you thought of your short film, did you get almost like when you were like, this could be a good idea, you almost envisioned in that moment what the whole thing would be? When we started thinking of this set, did you not go, that's what I picture it to be?
After I Googled
Or did
talk
you
show
view
sets,
the future and see if the set would work?
I did that. Actually, I do that every day. Should I go into work today? Yes.
I see in the future a paycheck. Yes, I'll go to work.
I like the paycheck.
No, I'm just saying that is a good argument. That when somebody as smart as Tesla, who knows how to work with blueprints, he knows how to design machinery.
Because I mean,
has an idea. Generally, you have.
Not commenting off the fact that you said as smart as Tesla, but a lot of the time when I have ideas, when I have the idea, I almost get the idea of this is how I envision the entire thing.
Right.
That is how I have ideas. It's just I think of something and this is how I think of it is. I don't go, this is my idea. I think this is how I envision the whole thing to be.
Yeah.
Like that's just simply how my
a
brain
lot of times the ideas I have for these shows and stuff, when we do come up with them, and I'll hit you up with the idea, I envision the whole show.
Exactly.
It becomes something else, but I pictured the entirety of the show.
Exactly, and it just sounds
happens very
like
quickly.
he It sounds like he could do that, but he is smarter. Like, he is smart enough that his envision is more just realistic.
Right. So, but what's interesting about Tesla, and I know we're way off topic now, but maybe not, is that he claimed that they literally came to him in a flash of light.
Which could have been remote viewing, seeing it already built.
Right. So he would literally just be walking down the street, and there would just be this flash of light, like blinding light. And the idea comes with the flash of light. It wasn't like he was already working on an idea. It's almost like it was just implanted in his mind.
Let's talk more about Tesla on another episode.
Yes, we will.
Just to comment off that, though, is comedians do that. I'm not sure if you knew that. Comedians, or a lot of comedians that write their own jokes, will actually, it may not be a flash of light, but they will see something and instantly go, I got a joke.
Yeah, but that's...
I think it's completely different.
That's practice. That's practice.
Yes and no, though.
I don't think... He's talking about Tesla sees the blueprints and the entirety of it. You're talking about, I see Gary and he's got glasses, let me tell a four-eyed joke. That's not seeing a flash of the entire invention.
Because don't you have ideas where you see something and it may not...
You're arguing thinking of an idea.
Yes.
He's talking about Tesla, in theory, remote views the entire thing.
Is that not an idea, though?
Well, and I think that'd be more of a debate on how Tesla does its things, but...
Right.
Because if that was the case, how do you differentiate, how would you differentiate an idea from a remote viewing?
And I think that's why it comes down to you and I, or we both, we don't agree with this conspiracy, because to me it sounds like that. It sounds like remote viewing is just a fancy way to go, hey Dan, I saw that you're wearing your beanie. Oh, I see us snowboarding. We should go snowboarding.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, remote viewing doesn't sound to me like anything fancy.
They're more like self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it sounds like to me. That's the best way to put it. I do.
Okay.
And maybe, and I don't know, maybe Tesla sees the entirety of the blueprints. That's how he described it.
Right.
But could it be remote viewing? Could it be just had an idea? I don't agree with remote viewing. I don't think remote viewing is a thing.
So.
It could be that he just had a peculiar brain.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had a strange brain, and just how it operated was strange. Yeah. And maybe the ideas did come to him in a flash of light because his mind was putting information together.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize it was happening. And,
yeah, exactly. Like, for all he knew, subconsciously he was already thinking of this. And then for some reason, like, the envisioning of the flash of light was simply his brain going, subconsciously, I've kind of figured this out.
Yeah. Right. It's like when you hear somebody in your house and there's nobody there. It's because your mind is literally echoing a person's voice. Or you go to bed and you still hear the noises of the day. And you're not actually hearing it. Your brain's just still busy processing.
I love how at the end of this podcast, with all the tangents, we can come to a conclusion about remote viewing.
Yes. I think that remote viewing is much more closely related to the concept of the Akashic field. If somebody is remote viewing something, I think they're tapping into, because we don't fully understand knowledge. We don't fully understand ideas.
We don't understand how brains work.
Exactly.
Why am I smarter than you guys? I don't know.
Why is it?
Why does he think he's smarter than us?
Why is it that when you're
I don't know.
Okay, like for those of us who still use a car radio, why is it that when you are thinking of a song, you turn on the radio and it's already on? And it may not even be a popular song. It's because we don't know how our brains work. We don't know how our brains react or respond to certain frequencies.
How many times are you hearing a song, and I know I could do it, and I guarantee both of you guys can do it, but your brain starts predicting the direction of the song?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Me and my
you don't
buddy
even know the words, but you just start going,
I
kind of know what I predict, what I educate.
So I remote viewed the song.
Yes.
It's an educated prediction.
What was your best friend's name?
Lewis.
Lewis. Okay. I had a Lewis. His name is Greg. Gary and Greg. And we predicted a song. We were sitting, it was a song in Spanish, and we were just sitting in the car, like, listening to this song, and then we both sung the song we'd never heard before as it was playing perfectly.
Yeah.
Because we were both just in tune with what was happening. So, yeah. Oops. Sorry, Twitch. That's
we should close that.
That's my theory. We're tapping into information and energy that we just don't fully understand yet.
Yeah. I think it's just educational predictions.
Okay.
It's like it's an educational guess.
Yeah, educated guess. Okay.
Yeah, educated guess. Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew I was getting
and you think it's not real. You think it's just educated guessing.
I think it's just like Fox News. They try to make you think it's real, but it's not.
Yeah. And with that propaganda and fear-mongering, we're going to close out this episode of Conspirament. I have been your actual host, Gary.
Are you the host?
You can find me on Film Circuit on YouTube.
What about Beanie Nips? What is he?
I'm at Dan T Producer on
Yes.
Twitter or at Silu91 on Twitch. CYLOO91. Twitch.tv prefaces that with a / and that name, Silu91.
I'm Benny. I'm Comic Storian, also known as Benny Potter. Follow me on Instagram at Benny's Adventures or on my Twitter, Benny Comics. Or you can go to Comic Storian on Twitter, Instagram, or on my channel, Comic Storian. Or you can find me on Eligible Monster, the gaming channel, or right here on Twitch at Eligible Monster.
He promoted his Instagram that he said he was never.
I never said
Anyway,
I'd never. I
thank
crossed
you guys
300.
so much
I
for
didn't
watching.
even hear it. Thank you. Bye.